Hello everybody and welcome to What Are We Talking About? Today we're talking about The Walking Dead. The actual Walking Dead is back already. It's only been a week since Fear the Walking Dead has been over?
Yeah?
I don't know. It's hard to keep track of
remember,
time these days. But anyways, what were your initial thoughts? I think this was a special 90-minute episode, right?
Yeah, I think it was like an hour and a half, so it's basically like a movie. Even though when you see movies that are an hour and a half, you see lots of let's say it was
This wasn't structured like a movie.
No, not at all. It was The Walking Dead TV show. But I really liked it.
No,
I thought for the season 6 premiere, they set the tone really well, at least for the first half of the season 6. Who knows if they're going to continue this 2 themes to a season, kind of like last season where they had, what was it, the beginning there, they were dealing with the cannibals.
Yeah.
They had just escaped that cannibalistic place. And
then eventually they got to Alexandria in season 5.
In season 5, and near the end, there was a couple episodes where they're in Alexandria, or they're leading up to Alexandria, for sure.
No, because they spend lots of time, remember Rick has a relationship with that blonde chick.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
And
but overall, that was only a couple up. They weren't there for long in the season. Obviously, this season is going to focus a lot around that. But again, I really liked how they set the tone for at least this first half of season 6.
I liked the tools they used where they made it. The color was like what's happening right now, kind of a thing.
It was like a noir for the past.
Black and white was in the.
It was like the memories, recalling the events that had happened before.
Because it kind of looked like there was this time lapse because we were like, what? There's new characters and stuff like that, right? But then when it shows in the black and white, it explains. No, this pretty much picked up right where it left.
It must have only been like a couple.
A day, maybe a day or two.
Maybe,
because
I'd say.
They were still all really fresh.
I guess because they found
Rick killing that guy,
they found that horde, and they were basically going to dump. Rick was originally going to dump the body of that one guy who had killed
that other
Reg,
guy, right?
the architect.
So they hadn't even dealt with those bodies yet. So it must have been within like a day.
A couple days at most.
Yeah.
But no, I really like how they set the tone for this. It was like,
I agree. The tone was.
It's like they're gonna this half, or anyways, they're going to find that fine line between allowing some compassion and being hard and dealing with the world that they're living in now. Like, because that's the only way you can live in this world, right? Is you have to
make tough choices.
You have to make tough choices.
Rick made a pretty quick, snap, tough choice that is the right choice. He made the right choice.
But at the same time,
some people wouldn't have been able to do it.
He's too extreme and he's too fast for these people.
No,
which is why I almost like how Morgan's coming in. He's being the voice of reason almost. Like, these two characters could really play off each other really well. Rick could be the one to make those hard decisions.
Because they know each other also, but they've changed so much.
Exactly. But they even try to say
it's a good dynamic.
Or at least Morgan tries to say that Rick is still that same person. I don't know.
Rick tried to say that Morgan's still that same person. But we both know that both of them have gone through some ups and downs.
Oh, definitely. But I just really like how they're going to, what it seems like they're going to try and find that fine line between having some compassion and humanity and making those tough decisions and basically losing your humanity to survive.
Because that one scene talking about humanity, where I don't remember what their names are, but Glenn's girlfriend, Maggie, is it?
Yeah.
Maggie, and then she was talking to that other girl that used to be an enemy when they were living in the prison.
Her name's Sasha?
No, Sasha I think is the African American.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Girl,
the new Michonne.
Yeah. She what was it? Oh yeah, Tara was talking to Maggie about that guy who Glenn is like pissed off at because he tried to like kill him or whatever, right? And that was actually quite a bit of character, I don't know how to explain it. It was a lot of humanity and heart, like you were saying, where it's talking about basically Glenn gave me the choice, as Maggie, where she said Glenn gave me the choice where I could have just went to everybody and they could have basically lynched the guy because...
Exiled him, which basically meant he would have died.
Well, yeah, he would have died.
He hasn't been exposed to this stuff enough that he would have survived in the outside world, outside of those walls of Alexandria.
Yeah, and then, so, basically, since Glenn gave her that choice, and she... like, that's a hard choice kind of a thing.
It is. But
and then
in the end,
she told that other chick, and now she said, now you have to make this choice. And she's just like, I'll follow what you want to do.
But in the end, I feel like it was, even though probably in that position, anger would have taken over, I would have probably killed the guy. But it was a smart decision.
But it's because she said, I thought about with this other
exactly.
Tara or whatever.
Tara, how she was on the opposite side of the fence when it was that whole prison
with the
episode
governor.
Where the governor came in and basically destroyed their home.
And that's when he killed Herschel?
Herschel, yeah.
So
I think it was a smart decision on his part, or their part anyways, because they were showing to this new group that yes, they are hard, they have to make these tough decisions, but they have compassion. They are able to forgive and forget.
No,
maybe
true.
not so much forget, but they're willing to forgive.
No, that's definitely
give them a second chance, which is
especially Glenn.
Yeah, especially Glenn. But even with Daryl, how he's vouching that they should go. They need to find more people. It's that whole idea of they still want to hold on to what humanity they have left.
No, it's
and
true.
They're showing they're trying to show these people that they still are good in some ways, but they have to make these tough decisions. They do know how to survive, and if they follow, they can survive too. But at the same time, they can't do it as drastically as Rick is doing.
That's
Rick
the thing.
He almost is going a little bit.
But
too
I don't
far
know. With the whole thing with where he was like, "You guys have to kill these zombies." They were right there, and they all had friggin' guns.
But at the same time, they're saying they didn't want them to start firing. They wanted to start teaching them that gunfire attracts more.
I know, but worst case, if the worst case scenario would have happened and those guys couldn't have handled it, they were still fine. So why did I agree with Rick that Morgan shouldn't have stepped in and been like, "Oh, these guys can't handle this shit yet." If there was like 4 zombies.
Well, it wasn't so much that Morgan stepped in. They all stepped in. They all eventually.
Rick Morgan initiated though, and Rick said, "Morgan, don't." And they were like kind of pissed. Well, Rick was kind of.
But at the same time, Morgan was kind of right on the fact that I thought we weren't taking any more chances.
Well, I mean, but
yes, they gotta learn. Maybe that wasn't the best way of doing it, but it was Rick's. It's definitely the survival of the fittest, natural selection. The people are gonna survive. Are gonna survive. And that's almost how Rick takes it. But at the same time, Morgan is taking the approach. He almost wants to. I don't know his exact thoughts on it right now, but he wants to do it a little bit more in a controlled environment.
I guess the
and also maybe not even go as far as to let some people do. Maybe he's thinking that some people should just not. But whereas I kind of agree with Rick that these people need to learn how to his Alexandria might not last forever, especially with the end of this episode. Alexandria might not be.
Well, that's the thing. I was also thinking about the reason why Rick might be so much more harsh is just for the fact that
he's gone through
so much. We've seen so much as well, and that's why I'm a little bit more just do it, right? You know what I mean?
Just Shia LaBeouf, just
do it. But no, yeah, I think that and Morgan is just able to have a bit more empathy towards the fact that these people have never like Rick said it in the episode. They never had to survive. They just lived through this whole zombie apocalypse.
And not to mention, we found out why. Part of the reason why was because
of this collection of zombies.
This large horde that kept on building and building, and they were kind of trapped within this area because of some previous group that had
put some semis there. Yeah. Maybe it happened at the very start of when
the outbreak had first happened. But
knows?
At the same time, it was helping them survive. It wasn't exposing them as much.
Yeah, it was like a slow trickle.
Exactly. But at the same time, it was a ticking time bomb, and the group realized, as soon as Rick and even Morgan seen it, they both realized that this was a ticking time bomb.
Everybody agreed on that very quickly. But that's the thing. It kind of was a shock to everybody, right? It just happened while nobody was expecting it.
Yeah.
But then, at the end, there was another shock, and you were alluding to it earlier.
I literally was talking about it right as it happened.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because we hadn't seen anything that had to do with the wolves the entire
whole episode.
They kind of mentioned it briefly there, But then about how when Morgan first kind of showed up that he dealt with those 2 Wolves members or whatever. But then at the end of the episode, I was like, it's something, because everything was going too well, right? And I figured, okay, the Wolves are gonna come in here and screw things up. And just as I said that, all of a sudden that horde in the forest started going off, and like I would say over half the horde started going into the trees.
They said it's the back half, but it was more than half.
I think it was more than half.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even show the end of the horde. They showed the one still kind of following the car and the bike with Daryl, but then they showed all the ones in the middle going off to the side, and they're still coming back. And even then, it still had you still couldn't see the end of the horde.
No, I agree.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, even though there wasn't very much action.
I don't know. There was enough.
Yeah, there was.
It wasn't a completely action packed.
There wasn't even that much horror.
But there was enough.
It was a lot of drama, but it was
drama.
It was good drama.
Kind of
it was good drama in the way that it still kept me like it was sucking me in. Whereas compared to, let's say we go back to like season 2, where it was not holding.
That's the thing.
It was too dry.
They're doing a lot better at having character development without having it just be boring, because that's what season 2 was. There was a lot of character development that happened in season 2, but it was very boring to watch.
That's what I am almost liking about the start of this season, was how they're setting the tone. Also the character development. We are being introduced to a lot of new characters, who they are, what they are in this environment that they're living in, and how it's even testing the characters that we know. It's testing how they feel and how they deal with things, being put into the same safe haven as these people who've never dealt with it before. Like, obviously we're gonna have 2 sides here, but I'm liking how they're developing it all. Like they're doing, it never got dry.
No,
it was a constant. There was that always constant life-threatening situations.
There's something always looming overhead that made it a little
like
bit more. It was a good thing to show like how, because when you saw that guy, I don't know his name, the guy that was gonna shoot Eugene, right? And then Rick came in. You knew Rick wasn't gonna kill that guy because he was in the future, right? But it still was intense because you know what also is going on in the future is all that horde of zombies. Like, the way that they made this episode, it was just, the whole time you were solidly invested. And right when you were like, they're almost doing too much of the past, like, that's when it would switch to the present.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
But I like also how they did that too with the noir style and the color in the present, so that people wouldn't get confused on what was future and past.
It's a really good way to do it. And plus, I always like noir style stuff.
No, it's
I have a couple of Marvel noir comic books.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
But anyways, you have any more thoughts? That's it for me.
I would say we'll go to I'm gonna comment a little bit on the characters that didn't get so much screen time, like Carl. And that, I think
we didn't even see Carl at all, did we?
We've seen him once when he climbed up onto that shed, and he just sat down beside that girl, and she just placed her hand on his hand, and it's like we kind of figured where it was going in the last season, but they have already developed it to where we knew it was going to go at the start with very limited time. Like, it was just a very simple. He climbed up, sat down, placed her hand on his hand. I think someone was actually in the background watching.
Yeah, you said that. I didn't notice, but...
Maybe it was like Ron or something like that. But even with the development between... Like, we didn't get to see very much of the woman that Rick is having feelings for. But we had that short scene in the armory with him and her. But still, there was development there. It's not so much that he just killed her husband, and she's gonna go, "Oh, Rick, you're my savior," right?
No, she's pissed at him, even though...
Exactly. Even
though he kind of did do something that was kind of good, in a way.
And developed her son, Ron, how he went to go see where his dad's body was going to be buried.
I was kind of thinking that when it was happening, it kind of reminded me, have you ever seen the Louis C.K. routine where he talks about he goes up to this kid that he calls Jazanthropus because he doesn't want to use his real name, and he's like a little, I don't know, 8-year-old kid maybe or whatever, and he just goes up and holds him and he's like, if you ever do something like that, and he's like, while I'm doing this, I'm realizing this is totally not okay. This is way too intense for this kid. But the thing is, Rick didn't realize
No,
it.
Rick feels like he's doing the right thing. He feels absolutely everything he's doing is the right thing. Which, to an extent,
dictatorship.
It is. But
it's becoming a dictatorship.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, that's another thing, is how, like,
That
Deanna is still in charge, but Rick is in charge, I guess?
That's the thing. Everything Rick says, she's just like, just do what Rick says.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting if she turns her back on Rick or something. Like, maybe changes it up.
That's the thing. I think she's still in shock. She's still in shock from the death of her husband.
Very well
I think.
could be.
Because she again hasn't seen anything.
Because she also just
lived.
She also just lost her son
everything.
too.
No, it's true. She lived through everything. She didn't have to survive as well, right? She hasn't had to lose anybody. And now she just lost 2 people.
And she realizes that, yeah.
So, and she also is at least keeping a level enough head that she does see Rick is making good points, right? Even if some of the things he might be a little too extreme on.
True. One thing I also noticed too is, I think his name's, he showed up with Heath and that one other woman. You know, at the start of the episode when there was that Heath guy, he has like the dreadlocks. Okay. Eugene complimented on his hair.
Like, I'm all about the hair game too.
Yeah, like, he said he respected him. The other African American, I think his name's Nick or something like that. Here, I'll look it up.
Oh, the guy that looks like Common.
The guy that looks like Common, but he looks a lot like the priest. They look very similar. True, it's the bald with the goatee, and I was like, "Is that him?" And then, no, it wasn't. And it's like it's
from the back.
Like, I feel like
because that's the thing. When Rick saw the priest he kind of saw him behind the bushes. I thought that was him seeing that new guy that he hadn't seen before, and he was gonna be like, somebody broke in and there's somebody else in the group. Carl, we gotta deal with this guy.
Yeah, one thing that Rick still hasn't realized is this priest. This priest was the one who went by, like, that Carter guy who was trying to almost form a little rebellion against Rick and almost killed Eugene. The priest was the one who had started that. If he hadn't gone to him and said something, maybe that Carter guy wouldn't have been so hasty to go through with this starting a rebellion thing.
That's true.
Which was quickly put to a stop. And he quickly seen...
Well, that guy's dead now. Anyway.
He's dead now, so it doesn't really matter. But at the same time...
He did learn a lesson. Don't fuck with the Brick Clan. This is our group.
Anyways...
But that's all my thoughts. Again,
yeah, no, I really enjoyed this episode. I
loved it, yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens.
It kind of leaves it off at a cliffhanger, making it, you really want to see the next one because of that horn. And like you said, is it the wolves? It could be something else entirely.
I think it's the wolves.
I agree with you.
I think the wolves have been aware of this Alexandria place for a while, and they just haven't done anything about it because it is so well protected and defended, and especially now that Rick's group's there. Mm-hmm. So what a great way to...
Right when they're all the best people are gone, they go and attack.
Well, not only that,
and they probably might have set a trap, and that's why the horn is going, and they're trying to get the zombies to go in there. Like, you know, it seems like what the wolves would be doing, right? Like, they were talking about how they're all about, like, we haven't really seen much of them, and they're kind of like, almost like assassin-y, kind of like, they're like a clan of brothers that...
They play tricks.
They're like wolves. They hunt in packs and stuff. Like, when the first scene we saw them with Morgan...
Yeah,
That was
a good scene. I liked how, like, the guy didn't even have any bullets in his gun. And he was just distracting Morgan for the guy that was coming from behind.
Yeah.
Like, Morgan's too good, and I love that staff.
No,
like, that one scene where, at the very beginning, where Rick, Morgan, and Michonne were standing on the road, I was like, you have the 3 powerhouses in one group right there. Like, you got a guy with this who's, like, very capable with the staff. Mm-hmm. He can kill zombies with a staff. Not very many people could do that. Then you have a girl
with the samurai
katana. Yeah, like, you have her who can just slice heads off with no problem. And then Rick, who just, he can do anything he needs to
He's the main
survive.
character, so...
Well, yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy if all of a sudden they, like...
Killed
off Rick and it was left up, like...
Just
do you think they're ever gonna, like, kill Rick off at some point and have Carl take his place? Or have it so that there's no specific main character in this series and it's just...
Game of Thrones style.
It's just separate stories from everyone. And they're, like, how they react, and like
Yeah.
you just get to see all the different standpoints from everyone.
Could
Because
be.
we started off with a lot of Rick, but now throughout the seasons we're starting to see a lot more of everyone else
yes.
and what they think and how they feel and how they deal with things. It's not just about Rick anymore. He isn't just the main character, especially with Morgan now. Morgan could very well, like I said, they complement each other very well. We have the voice of reason and the guy who can make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
But do you think they'll ever get rid of Rick and start doing? If you ever read the book, the series of books, The Remaining, starts off with one guy being the main character, and then as things progress, you start seeing the standpoints from everyone else. Yes, he doesn't die in the book series or whatever, but you got to see
everyone's viewpoints.
Everyone's
I don't know. Yeah, it's a possibility, but what do you guys think? Let us know what you think about the episode in the comments down below, and what you think if they're gonna kill off Rick, maybe. Eventually.
I'm not saying
not right away. But do you think that can happen eventually?
I honestly don't think it's gonna happen. I think it'd be interesting if it did happen, though.
But anyways, let us know your thoughts down below. We both enjoyed the episode. Looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching. Never stop learning.